Hello and welcome to the Be Prepared podcast. My name is ZeGaming, and today I am with my good friend Geo. Geo, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. We've got one more week of the Uninkables Team League Alpha season. It has been a fun one so far.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a great time, and we've had some wild weeks in our winter spell season. But it is coming to a close. Winter is almost over for Winter Spell.
Yo.
And we are getting ready for Wilds Unknown season.
Cannot wait for Wilds Unknown.
Getting into the beta season of Uninkables Team League. We have this week and then quarterfinals. Oh, I'm sorry, semifinals. So
semifinals and then finals the week after.
Finals.
So only 3 more weeks of Lorcana left in this alpha season.
I know, it's crazy. It feels like it just flew by us.
It really did.
But speaking of week 6, how did y'all do? Let's see. Let's get down to it.
Let's start with the Mystics.
Get right into this.
Start with the Mystics. Would you look at that? It's a 4-1.
4-1.
It's a 4-1. 16 more league points for the Mystics this week. John switching it up with Yerpel. Darknet brought the Condiment King's own deck against him. That's bold cotton. Did not pay off for you. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. But yeah, John showing that he can truly thrive with whatever deck he puts in front of him. And yeah, started the week off strong for us. Jank Master bringing back Old Faithful Red Blue against Agape's Purple Steel. I know people have just been assuming when they see this color combo for Chris, they're like, oh, he's playing like aggro or burn or something. And he's like, no, I'm playing the Chris G special. And it's been doing really well for him this season. Then my eyes might not be working. It's kind of late, but does that say Iceman not on Blurple? That's wild.
Wouldn't be too surprising if you watched the stream for the Gilded Dragon Set Champions tournament, where you got to see the Iceman pilot this deck like a madman.
Yep, made it in the top 8.
He made top 4.
Made the top 4. He's been talking to John a lot, working on this list a lot this season. And he's got it where he's happy with it. Nano Molten Core subbed in for this one this week. Brought green purple, and Larry took the 2-0. Love to see it. Then we got Joker switching it up to Yerpel because he knows people are preparing for purple steel. He took down Sicko's blue steel.
Very good, Joker.
Yep, love to see that from Josh. Then we have got the exact matchup I knew I was going to be playing. Fearless beat me 2-1. I knew I was playing Blurple. I brought yellow blue because it's what I'm comfortable with. He steamrolled me game 1 because my deck bricked. It happens. The deck is very high rolly. I deck did what it was supposed to in game 2, and I won. Game 3, it was nice. I was doing okay. He was kind of ahead because my deck tends to play a little bit slow. I literally just needed 1 Raging Storm to bring me back in it. Dug through 35 cards of the deck. Didn't see a single one the entire game. So, yeah, if you're going to play yellow-blue, just be aware there's a lot of Uninkables in it, and it's very high-rolly. Sometimes it's just going to lose to itself. And unfortunately, that's what happened here this week. But, it's all good. We still took it 4-1 in a good position going into the last week of the season. We're happy.
Yeah, I'm about to say 4-1, 16-6. Hey, we'll take it. Take it. And you need every single point you can get, because going into week 7, man, week 7 is going to be a bloodbath, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But every point at this time of the league counts.
Yep, every game counts. Every point counts. The fact that I was able to force a third game and not just lose 2-0. We're gonna look at the standings after we go through all the things. That's every single point matters.
Yeah. All right. Since we got you guys out of the way now, we got the Mystics out of the way and the Schemers. All right, let's go back up to the top. Let's roll back up to the top.
We have got this is an important matchup because Spooky Sites are
Very
fighting
important.
for a spot in the playoffs. Like they're fighting to get into top 4. Playing it, unfortunately, late in the season, they drew against the top team in the league, the Big Dogs, in Lorcana Lost Chapters.
Yep.
Chad on Baja Blast, blasting Ruby Amethyst. Yep, that's what that deck does. Although I don't know. I haven't played this matchup a ton this set. Last set, it was winnable for Ruby Am, but I don't know what build Gerald's on currently.
I don't know either, to be honest with you. Spooky Sites, from my experience, has been really quiet, so I don't get much insight in what they're playing.
Right.
But knowing Gerald, he's always had some weird techie stuff going on in his purple.
He's very innovative with red purple.
He really is.
You know what he's going to play, but you don't know you don't know how he's going to play it. It's hard to plan for him.
Exactly. He's one of those players I always kind of point towards when it comes to with Lorcana in general. Like, it's good to master a ink combination.
Yeah.
To improve your gameplay, because it's I feel like I'm playing the same deck. Well, once you master ink pairing, you can start to diversify it to play different techs and all that stuff. And Gerald has definitely done that with red purple. He innovates the deck every week.
Yeah. Moving on, we've got Preston switching it up this week and going Blurple against Rastano's Blue Steel. He's like, it doesn't matter what I'm pairing with purple, I'm still just winning games. That's what he did, taking the 2-0 here.
I have a feeling. Oh, excuse me. I have a feeling that that was specifically to counter Rastano, because if I remember correctly, I think he's been on. Yeah, he has literally been on Blue Steel the entire season.
Okay, so Preston adjusted for it.
Yeah, so Preston just said, "Hey, you know what? Blurple, yellow Blurple, same diff."
Same difference, yeah. We're ramping to play the big cost character instead of playing them for cheap with yellow. So, but yeah, very well done for Preston. I think Preston finished this year, he's doing really well. I think he's got 1 loss this season, maybe 2. Through 6. He's doing really well though.
1 loss.
1 loss, okay.
And that was to Tiffany. So
right.
Team kill.
Okay.
Team kill.
Then we've got Dan taking the win against Visionary Storm, Amber Steel taking down Purple Steel. Be curious to know. Yeah, probably went under him, I guess. Or I don't know. The song package can just out removal Purple Steel too.
That's actually what it is. It's just that it has more removal because Amber Steel typically runs hurled his Thunderbolts. Purple Steel doesn't.
Yep.
So it's kind of like it's like Blurple running against red blue with Maleficent Dragons. You just have more removals.
They can also get their singers down to play their removal sooner because of Akud.
Yes, because of Akud. And that was where I was going to talk about next, was that Amber Steel can cheat out a Angel and then sing and then immediately snowball something, and then the following turn snowball another thing and sing hurls his Thunderbolts at another thing. So basically Purple Steel gets dismantled. It can't do anything. It auto loses by turn 3.
Yep.
So yeah. It's bad.
Then we got Dalcho and Matt on a Blurple Mirror. You don't see Blurple Mirrors in the 2-0s very often. I'm curious if Matt missed ramp, or
I would have to guess something like that.
That's typically what I've got to assume. That's my guess anyway. I don't actually
have Blurple experience. In fact, he's only played Blurple this whole season.
So well done, Dalcho, winning the mirror, taking advantage, assuming that is what happened.
Probably.
Then we've got Ian also on Blurple taking down Cam's Yerple. That's a bit of a surprise. Yellow Purple is supposed to beat Blurple, but the more reps we see with these decks into each other, I think the more Blurple is able to adapt to these matchups. Dogs used to be an auto loss. It's gotten much more winnable now with stuff like Isis and Tigger. So it's just Blurple has the tools to be able to adapt to these matchups. So it's nice to see Blurple still able to do stuff like that, because that's kind of how
can just adapt, and also they can just out resource.
Yeah, that's how red purple used to be. We were a very reactionary deck in the early days. We didn't like set the meta. We would see what other decks got popular, and then we'd adjust to it. Blurple feels very much like that right now.
I think so too. Yeah.
All right, moving on. We've got another 4-1 with the Champions of Sherwood taking down Strange but Not Special. I mean, Strange but Special. Sorry, Mitch.
Love that every time. Anyway.
I love you, Mitch. We've got Garrett on Purple Steel. Is that his first time bringing Purple Steel this season, or second?
I think it's the second. Let me double check.
Okay. But the Champions of Sherwood, four of them.
He's brought it before, but he's only won with it once.
Okay.
He's lost with it twice.
Gotcha. But yeah, I think I was talking to Richard about this the other day. I think Garrett specifically brought Purple Steel Burn because Richard hates it so much.
I can see that.
This 100% was a deck choice based on the opponent. And yeah, he took it down. 4 Purple Steel decks on the Champions of Sherwood this week. That's crazy. And then you have Paul, who just had to be special. But, you know. Charlie.
Amber Andy.
Yeah. Charlie also on Purple Steel, taking down Cheetos Blue Steel. That's a bit of a surprise. As somebody who's now gotten to watch Cheetos Blue Steel in action, this deck is silly.
Oh, yeah. This deck is crazy. I've actually been able to play a little bit now. Like, I've been practicing it.
Yeah.
Golly, man. First off, let me say this about it. It is not easy to play at all. It is not your 1, 2, 4, 6 kind of thing. It can do that, but there's so many other lines and you have to mulligan very carefully. So
yeah,
Cheeto is playing a very high skill diff blue steel.
Yeah. Yep.
And it can handle purple steel very well. But I will say, as someone that was on the receiving end of blue steel, like Cheeto's build on purple steel, it is winnable.
Okay.
It does come down to some very key turns though.
Okay. And then we get the same matchup again, also favoring the purple steel player on the champions. JD taking down Sal. Like we just said, it's a winnable matchup. Sal, I'm not sure if he has as much experience on the list or if it was even the same list.
Nope. I can tell you that for sure.
Okay, which means Sal was probably on the more traditional 2-4-6.
I don't quite remember his build, but yeah, it was definitely different from Cheeto's.
Okay. Then we've got the lone winner from Strange but Special this week. We got Cam Lamb on Baja taking down the 4th purple steel for the champions, 2-1. No 2-0s in this matchup.
Nope.
So they were all close.
This honestly is what I expected from this team matchup, like this pairing.
So Cam Lamb trying to score his team some much needed points as they try to climb back up the standings.
And we will talk more about that a little bit because
just a few minutes,
especially for Strange but Special,
then,
especially for this team.
Rounding it out, we have got the man who just had to be different and bring his stupid little puppies and take down Sam's Yerple 2-1. Yeah, good performance from the champions of Sherwood. Y'all desperately needed it to try to stay in the top 4. But you know, you could have had some more. You gave up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very close.
Yeah,
it's
the
I kind of expected this to be. Same. I expect this to be a high score.
Yeah.
Match.
Yeah, same. We already talked about this one, and then we got the Squirrel Squeak Tutors. This one was close.
This one surprised me a
bit. The Vixens have played very competitive games against some of the top teams in this league. This season, you got Hills 2-0ing Prodigy this week. Amber Steel into Blurple. That was awesome to see.
She finally got that dub that she needed.
Absolutely.
Against one of the best players.
Yeah, and like it was a moral victory. You know, she's had a rough go this season as the 1 seed. And again, like denying those points for the Squirrel Squeak Tutors who are trying to stay in the playoffs.
That was huge.
Like that was a big deal.
O2 specifically is
like getting no points from that one is crucial. Then we've got Applejack also on Blurple taking the 2-0 against Purple Steel with Stardust. Yeah, this is I think a favored matchup for Blurple, but it is winnable for Stardust. But yeah, Tiffany's just such a phenomenal player though. So yeah, definitely no shame there. Then we have got All-Star also on Blurple against Kristen, taking it 2-1. Kristen did make it a fight.
Yep.
Yeah, running tried and true Amber Steel. This is her.
And not a good matchup either. So
no, it's a bad matchup.
Yeah, so getting even 1 point here is actually really, really good.
Yeah. Then we have got another 2-0 for the Vixens. My best friend Megan switching it up this week.
I noticed that.
She's like, Holly's probably bringing Amber Steel and probably going to bring some aggro with like more of the steel removal tools, which she didn't feel like was a good matchup into Yerple. So she's like,
I'm noticing something now.
She's like, Blurple's the only other deck I'm confident with. I'm going to bring it and absolutely smoking Holly this week.
That's interesting. I'm noticing that the Yerple mains like Preston and Megan switched to Blurple this week.
They sure did. It was a direct tie into their match, like to their matchup.
Yeah.
They made an adjustment and it worked for them. Then we have got a Blurple mirror to close it out. Logan versus Becca. Funny story about this one. So Becca, like, well done making it competitive, especially considering when she was putting her list together on Fight Club, she somehow forgot to add Sail the Azurite Sea to her list. So
what did she add instead?
I don't know. I don't remember what her list was.
I'm gonna check real quick. Because we all know she ain't gonna replay that list.
Yeah, God no. But yeah, as soon as she started playing, she realized she's like, oh no, I forgot Sail. Like, well, you better find Tipo. And to her credit, like to her benefit, it just makes the mulligan that much more important for this deck. You have to find Tipo, and you've now cut your chances at turn 2 ramp in half. Fortunately,
so she had like a weird toolboxy list.
She does that. That's how Becca builds Blurple.
She had like a bunch of random 1-ofs, 2-ofs and stuff in this list. So I can almost understand that. Like, oh, I'm missing cards. All right, cool. Yep. All right, great. Forgot the sales.
I think, like, if you had to forget one, would you forget Sail or Tipo?
Sail, because right now Tipo's grounded for me.
And here's the deal. Maybe
Tipo's failed me so many times.
I know this is not the case, but Becca's like, you know what? Sail the Azurite Sea is a broken card. It should have gotten banned. I'm just not going to play with it. I'm just going to play with Tipo and prove that Blurple doesn't need Sail. But no, like I said, she still made a competitive mirror match of a very good player.
Yeah.
Without like arguably the best card in Lorcana.
Yeah.
You know, these Blurple players, they want to have all the tools in their deck and they can't fit everything. That's the sauce, guys. Just take out Sail, just play Tipo, and then you can put in all your other stuff.
All right.
Can you imagine if she had won with that?
Dude, that would have been the highlight of the week. That would have been the highlight of the week. I would have been like hyping that up like crazy.
God, that would have been awesome. All right. Do we want to look towards the week 7 matchups, or do we want to look at standings?
So
one thing we need to keep in mind is I'm pretty sure if we look at standings, it's updated as of the matches that have already been played for week 7.
Yes, because we are recording this.
We're 2 days late. Somebody decided to spend Easter with their family. Ugh. and not record this podcast with me. So we're a couple of days late.
Also, my voice was just like gone. I'm still recovering.
Yeah, that's fair. So the standings are going to be updated with probably 5 or 6 matches that have already been played for this week.
Maybe 6 or 7. I don't know.
But yeah, you want me to go and switch over to the standings, or do you want to talk the actual meta breakdown?
Just very brief.
Okay.
Top 3. What do you think?
Blurple, Purple Steel. Purple Steel is going to be in first place as far as most played. Then Blurple, then Blue Steel.
Okay, so you should have went with your first gut instinct. So Blurple was at 12.
You can blame Charlie. I remembered like that all of his team played it.
They made just slightly over half of them. 7 Purple Steel.
And 12 Blurple? Holy crap.
Yeah, 12 Blurples. You gotta remember there were 2 mirror matches, so that helps it.
4 right there.
Yep. 7 Purple Steel. 4 of them were from Champions of Sherwood.
Yeah.
And then Yurple, Amber Steel.
Oh yeah.
And Blue Steel all tied for third at 4
with 4
apiece. Yeah.
That tracks.
Blurple basically had like a 66% win rate when you take the 2 mirrors out.
Not 67.
Purple Steel was at roughly like 40%. 7. I'm guessing around like 40%. I didn't do a calculator on this. Then Yurple and Amber Steel had 50% win rate.
And keep in mind, the 50% win rate for Yurple with 4 decks, that's without the 2 most prominent Yurple players in the league not playing it this week.
That's true.
Like Preston and Megan are both very good Yurple players, and they both switched off of it this week.
Yep, they went to Blurple.
Yeah.
But Blue Steel, which
if I
recall,
right?
last week or the week before, it was like crazy. We had like 10 of them or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this week we only have 4.
They all
Can you
lost.
guess how many won?
They all lost. They all lost.
Yep.
Not a good
0%.
week for Sapphire Steel.
No.
But yeah, that's how it works. 1 week a deck will be great, and then the next week people will tech for it, and they'll see it more, and it won't be as good, or it just hits a bad matchup. So that's one of the cool things about this league. I do want to like get the full season data. It's going to require me to spend like an entire Sunday afternoon working on it, just going through everything.
Oh yeah, easily.
I don't mind doing it though. Like after next week,
we'll definitely do it.
I'll try to get it compiled before we go into the playoffs to do the full,
that'd be fun.
Every deck. I'll try to get that done sometime next week.
And they're supposed to have Hunter back for that.
Oh my god, I can't wait! Can't wait to have H unit back.
Get your drinks ready.
Get your drinks ready.
All right.
On the standings,
week 6.
Or do you want to look at week 7?
Let's go to standings.
Okay.
That's the main thing we got to talk about here.
So this has got some of the matches already played for this week. I'm not sure exactly how many games are played. We have got 3 4-2s.
Actually, no.
No, this is not taking into account those.
Let me double check. I can find out real quick because I was talking to one of the teams about it. Okay. And I gave them specific numbers, so I can just go back to that.
Gotcha.
And let you know.
Okay. But yeah, while he's checking that, we've got 3 4-2s fighting.
No, it is not.
It is not live. Awesome. No. That's really, really good. So with 1 week left in the season,
like PR. It's just like PR.
Okay. With 1 week left in the season, Lorcana Lost Chapters holding first place, 5-1, 89 points. A 7-point lead over My Accomplished Mystics. We're the top of the 3 4-2s at 82. got a 6-point lead over the champions of Sherwood.
Y'all did really good this
And then a 9-point lead over the Tutors, with 5 points between the champions and the Tutors. Then you've got the 2 3-3s that are still vying for a spot. Spooky Sights, only 5 points out of the playoffs right now. They are playing Strange but Special in week 7. It's like these two teams are fighting for
the 5 and 6 are the most hype for me. Like these two are fighting for their lives to get into top 4.
Yeah, and it's a tough battle for Strange but Special. Only 59 points.
If they get it though,
like I feel like they would have to have a 5-0 with nothing but 2-0s. Because like you have to allow Spooky Sights to get nothing essentially.
So remember when I say I did exact numbers for one of these teams that I was talking to? It was Strange but Special. So did you figure out what they needed? In
order to pass Spooky Sights, did they need? Because there's 18 possible points you can get.
Okay, so if they were to win all of them, perfect. They would go up to 77. So that even beats Sherwood right now.
Be 1 up over Sherwood. Okay.
Yes. So like they get pretty solid into the top cut. However, if you want to go ahead and go to the current week, they already have 1 loss.
Yeah. They have 1 loss. So, Visionary beat Sal 2-1.
So, but he did get 1 point. Again, what I talked about earlier, every point at this time counts.
It absolutely
every
matters.
Game win matters. So that puts them at a possible 75, which is still good.
They can't pass champions, but they could get the Tutors. So they still have a chance.
Get the Tutors.
Which means if you are Strange but not Special and you are listening to this, you know who you're pulling for right now? This guy.
This guy up here.
You're pulling for the Accomplished Mystics. Your fate is in our hands. I'm not saying we're going to throw the match to keep you at home watching us in the playoffs. I would never say that because I don't collude for league stuff. Can't speak for other people.
What, you're not going to have them all drinking at the Traverse Tavern?
No, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Let me do the bit, Corwin. It's y'all got a lot you need to happen in the rest of this week, but it is still possible. However, I'm going to try to make it easier for you because one of those teams that is currently in the playoffs is not going to be after this week. That 4 seed is going to be wide open because I'm not allowing the Tutors in the playoffs. I don't want anything part of that roster. We're trying to take care of business in week 7 so we don't have to play you again in the playoffs. I am going to send you with Franz to the Traverse Tavern to drink your sorrows away and watch the playoffs. So Spooky Sights and Strange but Special, y'all are definitely playing for that 4 seed because it's going to be open.
Now, the interesting part with that too, though, is when we go into semifinals, it will be by seeding. So first we'll play 4th, second we'll play 3rd.
Second we'll play 3rd.
So as of right now, you will be playing whoever gets in. Assuming Sherwood stays where they're at.
No, we'd be playing Sherwood. We're the 2 seed.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm dumb. Never mind.
Now, if Lorcana Lost Chapters lose, we're only down 7. If they lose, which you want to take a slight peek at the current week again and see how they're doing so far.
Let's talk it. Let's talk it through real quick.
Like we're down 7. If we win and they lose, and we outscore them by 7, we jump in the 1 seed.
Then you would be playing against.
Then we would be playing either the Spooky Sites or Stranger Special.
Again,
now,
this week 7, man.
Yeah, like the tutors could lose and still make the playoffs. Like they have the point lead from the season. So like, it's very possible that Stranger Special and Spooky Sites wound up playing spoiler to each other, and the match is too close, and neither one of them does well enough to overtake the tutors.
Possible.
Now, I am fully expecting Accomplished Mystics to 5-0 the tutors, but how many game 3s are we gonna have? Like they're gonna steal a couple of points. So like let's just assume they'll probably be at 74 or 75, which we said Stranger Special like max is 75 right now. So like again, you're pulling for us. You need us to like completely shut out the tutors, and then you got a chance. But you need to do your jobs. But I gotta say, if you're Spooky Sites right now, your Spooky Sites is looking pretty good. Like your chances of making it, as long as
they have a significant lead.
Yeah. And they're like I said, they're right there behind the tutors.
It's so possible. It would be very strange and special if they somehow get that big of a point jump. Like we've seen it happen. In fact, Spooky Sites is kind of how they got as high as they did. They had like a couple very big jumps in a couple weeks.
But yeah,
they got like a 5-0 one week and like I think another 5-0 another week, and that's what got them there.
With how close Spooky Sites are to the tutors, I think assuming the Mystics beat the tutors, which I'm just gonna assume that it's gonna happen. I don't know yet, but I'm confident in my guys. If the Spooky Sites win, and like again, unless it's like a 3-2 where like the points are really, really close, I've got to assume as long as they win and the tutors lose, they probably jump.
Yeah, they would.
If all of the tutors games go to game 3 and they win 2 of them, so like if they lose 3-2 with all game 3s, they might still get enough points that it's not enough.
Oh yeah. If they go like 2 and 3 even, right? And
with no 2-0s.
Yeah. Then they probably still just barely.
It's gonna be close though.
Down.
It's gonna be. It's
gonna be
close.
like a point. It's gonna be like a point or 2 difference.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. I will say, I'm fairly certain LOC and the Mystics have locked playoff. I don't think we can be jumped.
Okay, no. You two are pretty much locked in.
Yeah, I think we could realistically drop to the 3 seed, which won't really matter. I don't think, like, even with a loss, well, actually, no, with a loss, tutors would jump us because they just have a better record. So we could drop to the 3. I guess hypothetically we could drop to the 4. But
if you guys do very, very poorly, you could drop to 4.
Yeah, but Spooky Sites can't
They can't get enough points
to jump us.
No.
So it is nice to know that no matter what happens, the Accomplished Mystics will be playing in the playoffs.
Basically, this is what happens. If Sherwood, the champions, and the tutors, if they were to both win this week, the top 4 stays the same.
Well, like if Sherwood and tutors both win, then the Mystics drop to 4th.
Right. What I'm saying is the top 4 stays the same as far as like who's
the teams
will
stay the
4.
same. The seedings and the matchups
sites are completely out. The sites are completely they're out, and Strange Special is out. Like there's no way for those two to ever sneak in.
Both of those teams need the Mystics to win.
Yes. However, if LLC and the Mystics win, and they don't give champions or tutors points, you're looking at a different top 4. Like you're looking at tutors getting knocked out, and then either sites, Spooky, or Strange Special jump in.
I actually think
it really does come down for you to
The seedings can very much change. I think the champions are also locked into the playoffs, though. I don't think, because since Spooky and Strange Special are playing each other, only one of them can jump into the top 4. And actually, is it possible if the Tutors beat us and the champions lose?
No, because so this is assuming Spooky Sites gets a perfect, like,
right.
they 5-up.
Right.
They could get 84 points.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yes. No, they can get high.
Okay.
They can get up there.
But it would still not knock out. Only one of the top 4 can be knocked out.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you two win, you and LLC win.
Yeah.
You're looking at a different top 4. I'm not saying the whole top 4 changes. I'm just saying you're looking at one of these. The Tutors would probably be the ones knocked out. And then Spooky Sites gets in.
What we need to do in order for the Mystics to be safe, and I'm overthinking the math now. Like, if the Mystics lose, which we're not going to, but like if we lose, you said the Spooky Sites could get to 84.
Yeah.
If we get no points, the Tutors jump us, the champions win, we could be knocked out. Because if champions and Squirkly Tutors win, that means we lose. They finish 5-2, with us finishing 4-3. Spooky Sites would then also finish 4-3 with a slightly better point than us. So actually, we could lose. I think we need 3 match points. We just need 3 game wins to lock up a playoff spot. And then it becomes impossible for the Spooky Sites to jump us, even with a loss.
Yeah, I'm doing
like I said, right now, like, Mystics are still potentially playing for first. Like, it very well could happen. So.
And we can just go over to the week 7 and show you that that's not gonna.
Let's say, slight spoiler alert: we're not getting knocked out. We have already secured enough points to lock up a playoff spot.
Your boy up here.
We are still playing for first, though.
Your boy up here.
Do we want to go over what we already know and look at the implications and see?
Yeah, we can. At this point, yeah, we can. Now that we've talked about it, all right.
Yeah. So Spooky Sites
we can make a prediction afterwards, though, based off what we know.
Spooky Sites do have the 1 win already, so they're looking pretty good. LLC already have 7 points. They've already picked up 2 wins. I'm pretty sure that means we cannot jump them now, unless Charlie and JD both 2-0, which would even then mean Charlie having to 2-0 the substitute. That just doesn't happen. I think LLC have locked up first place.
I think so.
Schemers and Vixens are playing for Pride.
Yep.
No playoff implications there. That's just gonna be some fun Lorcana games. Also, real quick, shout out my best friend. Look who that is as the 3rd seed now. Megan taking the jump.
True. Yeah, she made a jump.
Let's go.
I didn't notice that until we were reviewing. I'm like,
when we were looking over week 6, I'm like, looking at the math, it looks like Megan's gonna overtake Kristen.
Yeah. No, she made the jump.
Then
congrats
looking
to
at
Megan.
Would you look at that? I can't be looking at that right, Corwin? Not the Tutors only with 1 point? 1 measly little point? Chris G taking Applejack down 2-0? What?
Yeah, that's wild.
What? And then what is that down in 5th place? Is that's me. That's me taking down Logan 2-1 in a matchup I was not expecting. I spent the last 2 days prepping for a Blurple mirror, and he's like, I could have sworn you were going to bring dogs or yellow blue to counter Blurple, so I brought purple steel. I'll talk more about this matchup when we do the week 7 review, because there are some things I want to talk about, but just talking about the implications. The Mystics needed 3 points to lock up a playoff spot. We've already got 6, and we still have 3 games left.
Yeah.
However, if you are the spooky sites right now, you are really happy with that.
Very
happy. Again, they have 1 point, so they're at 72. Spooky sites already at what, 69? Nice. It very much looks like if things just hold to this, Spooky's going to jump to 4th and have to play LLC next week in December.
Not going to be easy, but
no. But you'll have fought back and gotten into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You are welcome. As the great
Truly.
demigod Maui said, what can I say except you're welcome?
You're welcome.
I will say, spoiler, like slight tease for next week when I talk about my match with Logan, it's probably the best Lorcana I have played this season. I played that game I played that matchup really well. But again, we'll talk about it next week.
I did get to watch that. That was actually really good.
Yeah. Anything else? Before we wrap this episode up.
Let me go back to those matchups real quick.
I
saw something in there. Yep.
Yeah, what are we looking?
There he is. There's my buddy Paul, the big dog.
Oh yeah, the big
puppies.
dog with your damn puppies.
He took out the last undefeated player.
Handing Ian his only loss of the season.
That's crazy.
How did Ian dodge dogs through 7 weeks?
That's wild. Well, to be honest with you, dogs was not popular at all in our league.
That's because it's such a hard deck to pilot.
Yeah, and
which is crazy because I know there are several dog players in the area, but none of them are consistently bringing. I think the only one who's
Nathan's not playing.
Yeah,
and Bo's not playing.
I think the only one who's brought the deck more than once this season, other than Paul, is me.
Yeah, and you don't main dogs.
No.
So
I was just trying to diversify myself.
No, Tiff.
Oh, has Tiff brought it a couple of times?
Yeah, let me check. I'm almost certain she's brought it like twice.
As of this week, she has now brought it twice.
Also,
however, she hasn't won a game with it. But again, that just goes to show you that right there is a testament right there how hard that deck is to play. Because Tiffany is like probably
really
top. She's probably a top 5 player in this league. I think she's insane. So the fact that she hasn't been able to pilot the deck well this season, the deck is really hard to play. I went 0-2 with it this season. So
I mean, if anyone in this league's gonna like win a bunch of games with it, it's gonna be Paul.
Yeah, and here's the deal:
he's just built different.
I'm gonna have Bo back next. I'm gonna have Bo back next season. Giving dogs the send off it deserves before rotation.
I want to see that mirror match.
Well, it's not going to happen because
if Paul and Bo get paired up, if they get paired up in beta season,
Paul's going to find a way to manipulate himself down to last place.
Say what?
Paul's going to have some way to collude himself down to last place again. So that ain't going to happen. That's what you guys do apparently. We set the standings however we want to.
Although to be fair, we are actually going to be fixing those pairings. If you watched our last podcast with Mitch, he did kind of tease out a little bit that we are going to be fixing the PR system.
Yeah. Shout out Paul though, 6-1 this season.
I'm not surprised.
6 of those matches.
That's my buddy Paul right there.
He brought Purple Steel week 1 and then brought dogs every other week.
Yep. Again, he's just built different.
He really is.
It
just shows like if you're gonna master a deck, like if you're gonna like find a deck and master it and get good with it, instead of doing what this loser did and just switch it up every week.
I'm gonna say something a little extra to that. Not only did he master a deck, he identified which deck was very much like his pre-rotation deck, which was Steel Song. found basically the new Steel song within 2 different colors. Well, 1 different color.
Yeah.
And mastered that because he said, oh, this is just like Steel song. And he did it and it worked out. Bob, bang, bob, boom. Now he's 6-1.
Yep. That he is.
So, I think that's a testament to his skill as a pilot of a deck.
Yeah, I agree.
And being able to identify what's good in the meta.
I very much am not looking forward to potentially having to play him next week.
Yeah.
The way it's looking, Mystics versus Sherwood are very much likely to match up again.
Yup. That's gonna be
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'd almost rather play the Tigers again. Or hell, give me LLC. Our matchup against LLC was very early in the season when a lot of the guys on my team were still figuring stuff out. I think, like going based on the standings, assuming that's our finals matchup is the 1 and 2 seed again, I think it will be a very different match than it was in week 2.
I think so too. I think it'll definitely be much closer.
Because just if you look, just giving me as an example, I lost a Blurple mirror that week when we played them. I wasn't well played into Blurple. It was just kind of, in my opinion, the best deck at the time, 6 weeks ago. And I hadn't really refined the list. I just kind of ran a stock build. Compare that to this week when I played against Logan, who's a very strong Blurple player. Granted, he switched the deck up, but I played a Blurple build that was teched more for Blurple, and I managed to still win even with him pulling a different deck out. So I'm a much more competent player with those colors. And that's not saying I'm going to bring those colors next week if we play LLC. I'm not sure what I would bring. I really do. I might take the H unit route and just spin a wheel.
Roll a die.
Yeah, roll a die. But yeah, that's been week 6. We have got a very fun week 7 in store.
Yeah, already in progress. So we'll be back with a full recap on that.
I think. Do we have a special guest next week for the season wrap up? Who's it going to be? Who we got, Corwin? Get your drinks ready, boys and girls. It's the substitute. The substitute coming back one more time before summer vacation to recap the UTL Alpha season. God, that's going to be a fun one. I'm going to go ahead and apologize to Nikita in advance for that 4.5-hour podcast episode. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited for that one.
But yeah, there's been some really good matches this season. We're going to have a couple more this week before we cut to the top 4. And yeah, I want to captain the first Uninkables Team League champion. Like, I want my team to be the first champion for this league. And then again, when rosters reset next season, I'm planning on captaining a team again, and we're going to come and do it again.
Yeah, we're going back.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, it's been a fun league.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun.
For the next one.
But yeah, now I've got to lock in for Infinity though, because we got DLC Indianapolis coming up.
Funny you mention that. We'll be talking about that in a future episode.
Yeah, we're gonna have Franz and Garrett coming by. We're upgrading to not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 white guys on a podcast. Let's go. Can the internet handle 4 white guys on a podcast? Of course you can. That's what Podcana does. Not Podcana. Or they have. That's what oh crap, what are they called? Club Lorcana. Zan's podcast. We've got 4 dudes on a podcast. The internet ain't ready for 4 white dudes on a podcast, Corwin. That'll be a fun one. I really need to lock in on Infinity. I really thought Red Blue was still a solid deck. And then hearing them talk today, and Garrett's like, no, it's unplayable. I'm like, what? What do you mean it's unplayable? I don't want it to be unplayable. What do you mean McDuck Man or Maui Shark and Pirate's Life is not
playable?
Where's
your AJ's off of it too?
Oh, once the Hiram ban came out, he's like, yep, I'm done. He's like, Andy, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Drops.
drops. That's going to be us in a few weeks when Wilds Unknown comes out. We're going to say to Winter Spell, yeah, you've been fine, but I don't. We've got our shiny new Buzz Lightyear toys to play with.
Oh, dude.
Our Emperor Zurg toys to play with. God, I want Emperor Zurg so bad.
Same.
We're going to start seeing spoilers for the cards like
next week.
Is it the 14th or the 12th or something? They're doing a lore cast?
The next forecast.
Well, they're doing a special one. It's not going to be on their normal week.
Oh, then.
It's not on the normal day.
Not quite sure then. Not quite sure. I just knew it was going to be on like a special lorecast episode or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are going to be, don't have a set date yet, but I am planning on getting Franz and Garrett on here to kind of help you guys out with the Infinity format as a whole.
Yeah, for anybody going to Indy or just trying to get better at Infinity, because we're trying to ramp up local events for Infinity as well.
Yes,
because it is a cool format.
It is. I like it a lot. I'm not even going to Indy, unfortunately.
You know why I like it a lot?
Man, I'll play it for the love of the game, brother.
I like it because for this reason right here, we get B preps again, Corwin. We can play B prep. Our card is back. But, red's not playable, so I can't play B prep even in Infinity. Allegedly. I guess I just got to take red purple to Indianapolis, don't I?
Did I just break with my terrible sing?
You did. Oh, did you sing Be Prepared? You completely glitched out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get Be Prepared. It's in Infinity. I hope red gets playable between now and Indianapolis. I want to play my B preps.
Same. I gotta find a deck that's good with it, but same.
Hey, we can play red yellow and play B preps and Raging Storms. 8 board wipes.
Why not just play 12 with Big Sisu in there too?
I mean, if you're gonna, you might as well. You might as well just play the Big Sisu. 4 Big Sisu, 4 B prep, 4 Raging Storms. Let's go. 4 Madame Medusa, 4 Lady Tremaine. Just play 30 Uninkables. 4 Dragon's Fire. 4 Grab Your Bow. All the Uninkable removal for red. Let's go.
About to say 8 Ladies in Red, 4 Headless Horsemen.
Oh yeah, Headless Horsemen. Forgot about that one. 4 Grab Your Bow. Gotta have those.
Yep.
Maybe some red purple Powerline songs.
4 Little Sisus.
Just all Uninkables.
It's literally just all Uninkables.
Just all Uninkables.
You'll go into Dreamborn and
oops, all Uninkables.
There it is. Yep.
All right, we are rambling, Corwin. I think it's time to
wrap
up for this week.
Yeah. But yeah, look forward to seeing our good friend Hunter H Unit to substitute Soul Reaper for the last week of Uninkables Team League Swiss round robin, Swiss, same diff. Yeah. Having him on to just kind of recap the whole adventure before we go into Top Cut. And also look forward to seeing more discussions with my friend Geo and I for things like Infinity, getting everyone prepared for a set chance still in core. We're not going to just abandon core constructed. We're still going to try to help people out in the future. But with the rise of Infinity, we want to make sure people are prepared because we want you to be prepared for your next game.
We want everyone to be prepared.
We want everyone to be prepared. So, I'm ZeGaming, and this is my good friend Geo. And we are getting you prepared for your next game. We will see you on the next Be Prepared podcast episode. See you next time. Keep happy questing.